Hello Twitch, hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It is a nice morning in Germany and we are here with yet another video. If you like the content, again, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. It would really help me out a ton as we are really focusing on bringing as much content to you out as possible. And today we're going to look at one of the Salvage of Victory event boats, the Zarya S. For those of you who don't know it, the Salvage of Victory event is going to start soonish, with where you can get the Sokuf for the progress points. But not only the Sokuf you can also get the M Colonna, which is an Italian T8 BB. You can get the Narai, which is basically a Pan-Asian Tiger 59 with HE, and the Zarya S, which is this boat, Tier 9 Vladivostok pretty much. For those of you wondering how these ships look a bit familiar, this ship, the Zarya S, and the Colonna are clones of the BA ships we got in the game, the BA Bina back in the day, the Italian secondary BB, and this is based on the BA hovercraft. So basically what you're getting here is an extremely tanky Soyuz with a lot of armor. And what makes this ship so, well, not special, but the ship so decent is, again, it is very resilient to HE. Yes, you have this big frontal nose with 32mm of armor. However, the rest of the parts are extremely well armored. And one thing that's very nice about the ship, where it's also really good at tanking nose in, as you can see, you have barely any superstructure. Like the superstructure, especially if you're like fighting like this, is not that hittable and big. So it's very resilient to this damage and a very tough opponent to crack. The ship works just like with all the other Russian BBs, so you have the Russian BB dispersion formula. The closer you are, the more beneficial your dispersion gets, so at around 11 km you get the maximum bonus. You have 9 403mm guns with 27.6 reload. Of course we're running reload mod here, dispersion mod, propulsion. So it's pretty classic how you would build the ship. Concealment is also pretty nice with 12.1 and the speed is not bad with 30. Now if we go to the captain, I built the captain the following way. There's multiple ways, again, as I say with my tank builds. You can either go like this, get an extra heal through 2 million potential, which you will easily get, and run brisk and turret traverse on this ship. This ship has pretty bad turret traverse, so I would recommend running turret traverse. However, what you could theoretically also could do, you could drop 2 of these 3 here and get another heal down here to have the full survivability build. But again, I like to have the AA build because you will have faster cooldown on the consumables. I like having Brist as well because it just makes the ships, especially with such good concealment, faster. And usually I try to skip turret traverse if possible, but this thing really has atrocious turret traverse, so it's not bad to have either. And there we go. We're now gonna go with the Zarya S real quick. I'm gonna demonstrate you real quick a battle about it. Again, nothing too fancy. You can get citadeled if you broadside. If you are, however, angled, you are one hell of a tough nut to crack. Unless, of course, you deal with 32mm overmatch from Yamato, for example, which can through your pen through your bow. Everything else, AP wise, is gonna have an extremely frustrating time dealing with you, as long as your nose in. However, I noticed one thing where you need to be watching out a bit. While your turrets have 455mm of armor, they are also extremely flat. So keep that in mind, because at close range brawls, people or battleships or high penning cruisers have the ability to knock down your turrets. It happens quite a lot at super short ranges, because obviously then you have the gun pen and it's extremely flat. So keep that in mind. The one weakness is at close range brawls, and I'm talking about 5k and below, not like 10 or 15, is that eventually they could potentially knock out your turrets. So keep that in mind. That's one weakness I noticed with this boat. And I also had that problem with BA hovercraft from time to time in brawls. So whenever they shoot back, try to angle your turrets a bit to guarantee the maximum armor value out of it. Because again, as you can look here, they're completely flat. Like, this is a big plate, but again, it's flat, so no adding on top of the armor here. Good morning, Bonum. Good morning, Australian Austrian Islander, nice to see you. And here again, here's my build. If you're wondering why I have a different in-game name here, I'm on my press account, as I don't have these ships currently in my main account, as I have to unlock them by the Salvage for Victory event myself. Secondary wise, nothing worth mentioning. You don't get any benefits on building it into secondaries, so again, stay with this boat fully on the tank build. You have defensive AA, which is kind of nice to have. However, your AA is not the greatest. You have a fighter. I wish personally you could switch the fighter for a spotter plane, as I think it would be way more useful. However, you don't have the options, so you have to live with fighter. And again, limited DCPs. One difference to the normal Soviet DCP though is you have a higher consumable action time. At the beginning I thought, hey, you could also run the longer DCP mod here, but with the turret survivability I tend to go more with the turret survivability skill, because again at close ranges you will be able to get your turrets knocked out quite easily, or so buffing them however you can is still the right call, because if you don't have the 50% turret survivability, they even knocked out even faster. So keep that in mind. Yes, the people will need to know that weakness, but a lot of people do know that flat turrets is a pretty easy target. And also, to be fair, if you're angled like this, people will tend to shoot your superstructure and turrets anyway. Good. We're gonna position ourselves close to the Salmon. I want to support him as good as I can, because he's playing it rather aggressive with the submarine, and if we can take out the L-20 early on, that would be very, very nice. Alright, first opponent is a Duncan. We can overmatch him in the nose. Don't expect the most accurate salvos on longer ranges. Again, this is more like a brawler. Again, with the Soviet version, so don't expect like absolute massive perfect volleys on longer ranges. You can also see it with the limited range we have of 18.9. We're also spotted right now. That could either be... Nah, actually, we have only one DD and the submarine here, so it's most likely... It has to be the submarine. They're not in the division, right? Yeah. The submarine is sitting somewhere here. We're getting ready. Salmon should spot him at any point. Ah, okay, he went down. We're not spotted anymore. I don't think it was the encounter. Could have been the encounter, I wasn't really paying attention now. But there should be still... Yeah, it's a submarine. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna go for one drop. This one. And there goes our first teammate. Alright, fast game for the Indianapolis. Nice. Okay, the submarine is playing it this way. Good to know. We got a very nice hit on the Duncan though. That's good. The good thing is, now that we know this submarine player is here and he's diving right now, we have this mountain to... Oh! We actually hit him perfectly. Nice. That is very good. We have this mountain, so Duncan and Encounter can't do too much about it. This is in preparation for Navarine. Although it looks like the Navarine is running away already. I'm gonna wait here for a second. Salman is realizing the enemy submarine is here. Navarine is leaving. I'm actually gonna go for the encounter here. Oh, we're spotted again. Encounter is probably launching torpedoes into this little channel. Okay, that's some interesting torps. Are they even gonna arm? Oh, he's this close? Alright, good to know. Good to know, the man is very close. The torpedoes didn't arm. Yes, perfect, good. So we knew he has to be within 3 km. That is not the best submarine player, to say the least. Now what we're gonna do is here, we're gonna go dark. And we're gonna push towards the encounter. It is a very weird submarine player, to be honest.
Расчеты ПВО в полной боевой готовности.
There's the encounter torpedoes. Right, we're gonna shoot a Duncan. We can still push here. They don't really have crossfires on us. If I want, I can disengage fairly easily.
Сфокусировать огонь на вражеском корабле.
And the Brandenburg spotted the L-20. Nice. Very good. Very, very, very good.
Расчеты ПВО дежурят в обычном режиме.
The submarine.
Подводная лодка врага потоплена.
And we should be also to get the encounter here. Again, at these ranges, we get the improved dispersion. So, yeah, the encounter should also be... Nah, not that, because RNG doesn't like us and gave us a lot of overbands. But you get the idea here. Alright. Duncan got fairly lucky with the HE, which I don't like earlier. But we should be able to get the encounter now with the next salvo. The thing is, he is slightly angled at the moment. Which means we're gonna get him here, yeah. So Rugi torpedoes come in a bit unlucky. He was paying attention. Are we gonna live? Ah, CV's focusing me down. Yeah, we could have played it a bit shorter, but I did expect the encounter to kill with the first salvo. That was kind of too greedy by myself. And we're going down here. 2 kills. Not the most special round. I would have loved that we could have dealt with the submarine a bit earlier, but the submarine is still out. We got the encounter. We should have chilled a bit more here, but I was afraid if we are waiting here that the submarine eventually gets a good shot off, although he didn't seem to be the most impressive submarine player. It doesn't matter though. We're gonna go for another one, as this one wasn't the best round. And I'm a bit sad that the Zarugi comes back. That the Zarugi came back here. Vladivostok, good morning, sir. Yeah, a bit unfortunate with the Zarugi there reacting. We should have slowed a bit down, but I was afraid if I slow down that the encounter gets another torpedo set off, and since we didn't manage our DCPs too well there. I should have DCP'd way earlier, because we have 5 DCPs with short cooldown. I was waiting with the 1 DCP way too long. So, if you want to learn something from this battle, better DCP management. That could have been a bit better there, because we wasted a lot of HP for nothing there. I should have just taken into account that we're gonna lose 1 DCP here. But it's good. I mean, we're also here to show mistakes if we make them. So, that being the case here. Good morning, Odin. Man, the BB queues are really long because a lot of people spam BBs at the moment. Also was a bit unfortunate that the CV went for us, but that's something I should have known because I played it rather aggressive alone there. Alright. We're going back to the next round. This time we got arms race. Oh, we're this time top tier. That's nice. Alright. Yeah, occasionally also top tier with tier 9s. And again, this time we're spawning in the middle. Okay, we're gonna commit to the left to the Thunderdome. We gotta watch out a bit here though, because we have to... Is there a CV? No. Okay, there's no CV. That's good. If I would be DD player, I would be giga greedy now and go middle, because there's only 1 DD and 1 submarine. That's crazy, by the way. In the first game, we also only had 1 DD and 1 submarine. Where are the DDs and submarines? Interesting. Anyway, if you missed the first game, here we go. Let's go to the left. We have Chios enemy team. I don't like this is usually I know my opponents perfectly fine. Oh well, like Tranos 283mm, Colorado 406, 406, 410. But Chios I actually don't know. What's the caliber on Chios? Probably I would expect if I don't know it 380. Don't think it's much bigger. It must be 380, I think. Because T9 has 380 as well, and only T10 has 406. Alright, good morning, wet suspension. Alright. Submarine, enemy submarine should be here, so we're gonna cover our U-190. Oh man, that EG wants to really play it crazily aggressive. The good thing is, in this battle, in comparison to the first one, since there's no CV, our concealment is gonna be so much more worth it. Like, our concealment is gonna be so much stronger with 12.1. And that means we outspot every BB of the enemy team, right? Maybe besides the Shios. But that's however, if they spot built into concealment, which with this player base might not be the case. I can hover over the shells. Oh, you're right. 350 millimeters only. Oh god, that's even worse than I thought. Alright. Thank you, man. I forgot about that. Gridlinger, much appreciated. 350 only. Wow, that's small caliber. That means we have pretty much, next to the Musashi, the biggest caliber on the field. Nice. Which also means we can overmatch the Charnos, as he has only 26 millimeters of bow armor. At least on the upper part. Alright, we're gonna open up on the Charnos here. Yeah, not the most impressive shot.
Внимание, передаю координаты цели.
We have an Inting DD player in the middle. I don't know why the gate is doing that. Honestly, that should be a report. That is griefing on purpose. Why would you go in a straight line like this? That's griefing on purpose. Sorry, boys, but that gets a report from me. He's even in the division. Yeah, okay, bro. Yeah, nice division mate you got there, brother. Good. We're gonna rotate over here now and get the thingy. Get the buff here. Ah, there's his division mate. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, but he's doing exactly the same thing now. What kind of grievous have to be?
All forces requesting cover fire.
How pathetic do you have to be? He's also just going in the middle. I'm sorry, but that's not gameplay. That's actively griefing.
Торпеды прямо по курсу.
And it's also failed if, yeah.
Торпеды
Wow.
прямо по курсу.
Okay, like that's not funny at all. This is, for me, unacceptable what they do. And you cannot say this is game plan or anything. That's straight up on purpose here. I'm sorry, but there's no way that's their plan. He's not even shooting. Yeah. Nice.
Пожарная тревога.
Who needs enemies if you have enemies like this? However, we have to switch on the actual gamer who wants to play the game. This fire we obviously not gonna turn out. It's only one. Wow, like it's not even solo, it's a division. Like, how sad do you have to be to do such things? Here, by the way, we're gonna aim on the superstructure because we can pen Iowa pretty easily there. No point in ricocheting on this bow or stern. Now we're gonna try open up and get the broadside shot. Like this guy is pretty bad, but at least he's playing the game. Same waterline. Can we get the sits? Yeah, we got the sit. Nice. Okay, he can shoot back. We're not gonna open up anymore. Huh? Ich habe keinen Teller runtergebracht. Ich kann jetzt nicht. Ich mache gerade Video. Ich mache gerade ein Video. Okay, good. Let's go rein hier. Sorry, I got interrupted by Mrs. Friendless. Let's go up here now. Alright, we're gonna get this reload buff. We're not gonna get this one yet. We're gonna wait here until we can shoot the Hipper. But now we're already at a decent... What is it? We're sitting at a decent 81k damage. And the enemy team is folding completely off here, completely now. But at least we are close to all the enemies. Can show that the dispersion is rather consistent at these ranges. Alright. Let's see. Get that buff. We're gonna hold the shot actually for the Chios. We do turn in here because the Takashi is also going this way. And with that we should have already won the game here. I mean, the enemy team only got 1 kill. This is, by the way, also very nice that we have the concealment now. He's not gonna see us. Here we aim a bit higher because he's going away. By the time the Shios can shoot us again, we're angled. And this Shios is also out of the game. Nice. We're now also having... We're also catching that full HP broadsiding Alaska player. And we got a double reload buff now. Oh man. What's our reload now? 21 seconds. Alright. Kind of crazy. This is just a gigantic ruffle storm. The matches are premium as always. But what do you expect if you have an inting division like this? Honestly, if you see these two names, pay attention to what they're doing. And if they keep doing them, report them as well. Honestly, this is not funny. 2 ships. Okay, yes, low tier and lower tier. But honestly, no reason to throw it away like this. But at least we could show a bit of brawling with the Zarya. Again, it's nothing fancy, it's nothing special, it's just straight up as you would imagine a BB. It's super sturdy, it's super tanky as long as you're angled. You really excel at closer ranges, as longer ranges is not your real like premier to play with. But that was Zarya. I think it's... I mean, if you're planning to get the Sogoof anyway, you will get it. But it's fairly nice on the way to collect the Zarya, as it's not a bad battleship. It doesn't bring any crazy F key or any crazy secondaries with it. But honestly, overall, it's pretty solid. There's good armor. The guns are nice, at least at closer ranges. Not having or barely having any superstructure means as long as people tend to shoot a lot of AP on you, they're gonna do nearly no damage. Plus, if HE, they need to aim for your superstructure or a 32mm pen on the bow to do anything. So, do I recommend this? If you're swimming in coal anyway or blue boosters, there's not really no reason to not get it. It's alright, and I hope you enjoyed this video, even though the matches today are not the greatest. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to your channel, and out.